Yeah.
What up, though? Welcome to another episode of Woman Crush Every Day, your favorite YouTube show, hosted by Alwu
and Tang.
And here on this episode, we talk to you, or not on this episode, on Woman Crush Every Day, every episode, we talk to you about fresh queer content that represents Black women out here, women of color, in TV, media, film, all that good stuff. And we talk, critique, and review. So,
absolutely. And this time we're going to talk about These Thems.
Yes. These Thems is a YouTube series that we discovered not too long ago. And I don't exactly know how it was all started or how it all came about, but
one of the actors on the show, Rico, and sorry, I'm blanking out on the last name, was a part of lexicon and has been on several shows. So I know they're on a couple shows that are on Amazon Prime. I'm going to go back and check those out. And is also part of this series. And one of the actors on the show is actually the writer of the series as well.
Yes. It seemed like there was a lot of collaboration on the show, from the actors to just the creation of the show.
Yeah.
So, and it felt like that throughout it, but it also felt very authentic.
Yeah.
And informative. It was a really, really, I mean, like, the whole point of the show was really created. It seemed very intentional to inform folks about lgbtqia+++. And I mean, that's why it's called These Thems.
Yeah.
We're talking, the title itself lends a lot to what the show is about and the topics that they explore throughout the season.
Now, I think we should say that it is created by a white person. I don't know if they identify exclusively as a woman, but they are a feminine person. But it does seem like the actors of the show, and there are two characters who are brown, who really said that they felt like the script was authentic and really related to how they wanted to present as characters. So
yeah, and I think even we felt like it was appropriate to talk about these thems on this show. That yes, we do focus queer folks of color, Black people, Black lesbians, and just trying to bring visibility to these folks who are so often underrepresented. But I personally think we agreed that the show did a good job of representing queer folks of color and the whole spectrum, wherever you lie, and identity, and
especially regarding gender.
Yeah, we thought it was really well done.
Yeah, and I think it in the same realm of, a lot of Black lesbian queer characters don't get a lot of play. Non-binary people don't get a lot of play, and especially brown non-binary people definitely don't get play, or trans brown people don't get play.
Absolutely.
And maybe we can talk more about that when we get into where does it fit in the queer lexicon. But we are going to start with favorite scene of the series.
All right. So my favorite scene of the series, and I'm actually mad that I don't know what episode it was in off top.
Y'all will just have to watch the whole thing.
You'll just have to watch every single episode.
You can do it all in one night.
Yeah, you really can. You really can. They're quick, easy episodes. But my favorite scene, I think, is the pussy song scene.
I forgot about that. That was great.
That was so much fun to me. I feel like as a person who's really into music, you know what I mean? Like, there's a scene where our main character, Gretchen, she is discovering her inner queer, and she is learning to listen to her pussy. And she just suffers this breakup, and she's looking really, really terrible.
Yeah.
And but she's in this like burlesque class. She ends up in this burlesque class and decides to take over and have this fantasy about listening to her pussy. And it's this whole song and dance. They transform into this musical world. She's all over the place. And it's just a really fun song. And then once the song is over, it snaps us back into reality. And I think it was like the comedic genius of it. I think it played out really well. And also just to see the talent of these folks. Like, I mean, okay, we know that they're writing the show. We know that they're acting, and that's good. They're doing great. But then to go into this, like, wow, you're writing songs and singing and dancing and, you know, turning it into this whole musical production. I thought that was super fun and fire.
And she really had the moves, too.
She had the moves. She had the pipes.
She had been like in Chicago, you know? It was really great. And then just the makeup that they did, the transformation from her hot mess time at
yeah.
And what kind of class were they at? Like a meditation class.
It was a burlesque class.
A burlesque class, and then she just looking like a hot mess, fresh off a breakup. And the switch back from like saucy and like red dress with the hair
yeah. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Great.
I thought that was my favorite.
Yeah. My favorite scene was when Vera and Gretchen show up to, and I think who else was there? It was Kevin and Asher. Asher was there, and they show up to what they think is like a gender queer party or gender identity party, and it's actually a gender reveal party. And I just love that they show up, and we all know, like, oh, it's definitely gonna be a gender reveal party.
Yeah. They apparently, I don't know why they didn't know what a gender reveal party was. Yeah. Play it
definitely
like that.
Know,
it's
like,
great. It's great for comedy.
Yeah, and so they show up. You know, pregnant person is there, all these women, the cupcakes, the reveal cupcakes, and I'm just like, this is an amazing setup. Like, not only is this person great for writing a web series, but I can see, like, as a playwright too, like, this is a great setup for a 10-minute scene of just, you have two opposing ideas, they are showing up to a party, they're going to be antics, it's going to be fun, and it is really fun.
Yeah, and they use it as an educational opportunity, you know, to you know, I mean, in a way that was kind of corny because they played like these really, I don't want to say super right wing, but they were kind of giving me these, you know, the vibe was, I'm going to hang out with these folks that I haven't seen since high school, and you know how high school is, everybody's like super straight, you know, so,
and they're still very straight.
They all have their husbands. This is the party that we're at. These white women who have their husbands who probably work like banker jobs or something, and having this party. But, you know, they resist. And I think, you know, when you're speaking to like having 10 minutes to kind of have these two opposing views, you see this more conservative perspective, talking with the people who are, you know, either like deep into the queer community. I don't know. It was, They kind of like patched it up in a way.
They did.
Like,
it's not realistic. This is not how it would have went at a gender reveal party that for some reason I would be forced to go to.
Yeah.
With my family, it wouldn't have ended like that. But I do like that it was a challenging setup, and the writer still chose to go with it. And she actually talks about this. If you watch that episode, she talks about her dilemma to even include this in the series because it was such a hard scene to write. And I think the point of it, even though it kind of ends a little cheesily, you know, this is not how things would typically go. Maybe if people really love you and they really are just like, we're gonna do what it takes to support, which I think is beautiful. But I'm like, what's the point of the show? The point of the show is to have a safe space that people, anybody, but especially non-binary trans people can watch, and there's some kind of happy ending, and people are moving into better spaces, and you do get to teach something, and we get to laugh and have a good time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, I wasn't even saying that necessarily hate on the scene. I did want to bring it up, though.
Yeah, you know, I think that's important. Like, how far in reality are we, or how far into fiction are we when we're in the series? And I think it's important to be consistent. And they've been pretty out of reality.
It was pretty, yeah. But it's fun.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
So who was your woman crush or person crush?
I have to give it to Vero's girl at the bar.
Oh, wait. Which one?
Gretchen was trying to move in on Vero at this point in time. But Vero's girl at the bar, She was kind of my speed.
She was cute. She was on another web series. I'm gonna have to figure out which one it was.
You see how these lesbians do? They just jump from web series to web series.
We be everywhere. That's awesome. I love to see actors from one web series be in another web series, because that means like we out here getting work, and if it's getting work with people who are creating content with us, like that's awesome. Just, you know, networks pick it up so we can get paid even more. So my crush is Vero. Vero's cute. Vero's really cute out here. So I was like, okay, yeah, I want to talk to them.
Yeah, Vero is cute, and Vero's smart, and like, you know, Vero's character is like just like a voice of reason and education. So like, yeah, shout out Vero. And hair is like
really nice, really cute. Yeah. I don't know how Vero would be in real life. You know, I think Vero also is like family friendly in a way, like family friendly non-binary. Like, I'm not going to get in your face. I'm not going to really like call you out on your things. Like, I'm going to like take the nice approach. And you know, that's great for this series, but in real life, like, y'all got to just stand up for yourself. Like, not to say like people like, you gotta just stand in who you are, and sometimes you're gonna have to get in somebody's ass a little bit. Yeah,
the work of like getting people to really understand identities and, you know, gender identities is definitely not as easy as this show presents, but I don't think that has anything to do with the validity of the existence of this, and that everybody's experience in terms of living in their truth. It's not always traumatic. It's not always, it
shouldn't be.
Absolutely. So I think to just present it in a way for folks who maybe don't know, that's just like, oh, cool, I can learn something new, and this actually makes sense. You know, all of this makes sense. I thought that was.
Absolutely. So that really gets us into, you know, where does this fit in the queer lexicon, which I feel like you've kind of spoken to, but what else might be there as far as like its place in queer media?
I feel like these thems is like the Sesame Street of queer media. Like, and
in a compliment way.
Yeah, that's. I mean, one.
We
I
like
feel like
the show.
It's a cornerstone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this is something you want to learn your ABCs. You want to learn the basics. Go to something like these thems. It's entertaining. It's fun. Mm-hmm. You know, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna meet some new characters. You know, you're gonna sing. So, yeah, I think it's like a Sesame Street, you know?
I can feel that, yeah. I appreciate the musical in the middle of it, which I don't typically like when shows do that, but I thought they did it well. And I really like the way that I could see that the writing, the person who had to actually do the writing met with the character, the people who would play the characters, with the actors who kind of, you know, said like, this is really working. I really love seeing that collaborative process. Mm-hmm. And I think if we had more collaboration in queer media, we would have more shows that are of this quality. And there are definitely other ones out there. But it's hard to come by. It's hard to come by writing that feels, as far as what they were going for, real and authentic.
I wonder who also was working behind the scenes. Too, yeah. You know, in terms of who shot it.
Yeah.
Who did the editing, who did the lighting? Like, was there a queer staff, or queer crew involved? Because, you know, knowing that there were queer folks who put the language together, and then we see on the screen, you know, we really see them and we see their stories. I'm just curious who's behind the scenes, and that would be really dope if there are, you know, queer folks 100% around, you know.
I think that would be really dope as well.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, I would love to see, you know, look it up. Maybe you all can let us know what you find out in the comments if you search it. Who really was on the set? If you were part of the set, maybe you have something to say about the show. Yeah, I love that. And I love that this was a piece that was written by a white person, and still two brown characters were at the center of it. And I just think when you have access and you're able to get a script done and you don't have a character that is necessarily race specific, although these characters definitely talked about what it means to be trans or what it means to be non-binary and to be a brown person. But we just need to let roles go out here. When roles aren't so central to your racial identity, when it is more so about other parts of your identity, about those other intersections, who can really play these roles, and allowing more people of color to have these roles, not even allowing them, but showing that, we can act the fuck out of a role. Mm-hmm. Put people on the screen.
Yeah. Something else that made me think about this too, I feel like sometimes when you see interracial relationships on screen, the brown person can feel like over sexualized, and I think they did a really good job of. I'm thinking really between Asher and Kevin. And not completely, not totally. Where I'm just thinking between those two, but like, you have you have these brown characters who are still able to hold these roles of like completion, and it's other folks who need to do the fixing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and you can actually see you can see the whole person. Yeah. And you can see how this person is attractive. You can see how, you know what I mean? And it's like, thank you for making this not weird. Just yes, absolutely. Yes.
And it's not about what is society going to think about me being white and you being not white together.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's so many other things that society is going to beat you up for. Can we just...
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay.
I think, making black people sexy without making them over-sexualized. Making people of color sexy without making them just sex. I mean, they were a little bit just sex, just a smidgen.
I mean, for the people where it was.
But I mean, she was like exploring her pussy for the first time. Like, I don't know.
But it wasn't, because when we talked about Gretchen, one of the main characters, hooks up with this non-binary DJ, and falls in, like, maybe not in love, but is crushed to find out that the DJ actually has a girlfriend. Yeah. Crushed. And so it wasn't really about sex. It was like, I have fallen into this person, maybe into love, maybe into lust, maybe into whatever. Yeah. But I've fallen for this person. That they are with somebody else is painful to me, not just that I can't access them sexually anymore. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So shout out.
Yeah. All right. So how gay is it?
So, the question we've all been waiting for. How gay is it?
So this is on a scale from Katy Perry, meaning like fake gay.
Not really gay.
Not gay at all. Just
Kiss
like
a girl, she liked it, but like
she not really gonna be out here because like
that was just for the record.
Just Madonna, like nothing. Really. To Janelle Monáe, like gay icon.
Hella
like,
gay.
Super gay. Like the gayest.
All the identities.
Just be gay.
Hear ye,
just
hear
like
ye.
pan everything.
Boom.
All right. So
on the count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
Janelle Monáe. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Break it down.
All right. So I gave this a poussé gay because it was unashamed. I felt like, they had it on lock. Like, it was funny, it was well written, it was well produced, like on lock, like anyway. It was terrible.
I might edit that now.
And it wasn't always about race. It wasn't always about gender. Although on Orange is the New Black, everybody who's there is, woman identified. The variations of what it looks like to express gender at all, Poussé kind of jumped into. Poussé was, an equal opportunist and was out here being heavy. And Poussé on the show is always like the voice of reason, which I feel like really mirrored Vero's character. So, Poussé gay.
Word.
Right. Give it the Janelle Monáe stamp of approval.
I feel like I have to go ahead and give these Dems a Janelle Monáe. Because this show was gay as fuck. Like, oh my God. It just, It was so gay. It was so gay, and it was so inclusive. Like, it's just like, they left no stone unturned on the gay.
We
like,
all was there.
Did we hit you? Did we get you? Like, they got them all.
You know, they were, well, we don't know if anybody was intersex. Okay. We don't know if anybody was asexual. Okay. It seemed like everybody was trying to get laid.
You're right. I'll give you that. But I think in terms, still, like, to go through when Vero has that teacher moment and is on the wall and really, like, breaking down. They say, well, they talked about it for hours.
They did, yeah.
And, you know what I mean? To me, they kind of allude to the fact that we're really giving you the whole breakdown. Like, it's not just LGBT. Like, there's a lot that you can learn about us.
You're right.
And we come in all shapes and sizes and different brands of sexy. You know, the whole I think they did a good job. It really I think they did a good job bringing it all in. They Janelle Monáe gave that.
They did.
They did that. They represented. So nice. Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out, y'all.
So make sure that you watch These Thems on YouTube. You can find it by just searching These Thems. And let us know what you think in the comments. How gay was it to you? Maybe you have another name you would drop to compare it to. What was your favorite scene? And yeah, what do you think as you dig more into the show? Let us know what you're watching.
Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this episode. And follow us on Instagram. That's what I wanted to say. Yep.
Absolutely.
Bam! One of these days I'm going to get it. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be boom, 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 boom. You know what to do.
You know what to do. Stay safe out here, y'all.
No doubt. Peace.
Making hella cake off a bunch of trays. I need income coming in 100 ways. Your girl said she ain't coming 100 days. Don't have me have that pussy hotter than the summer day. I pull a little closer, you can't run away. Then I cool off in the summer rain. I'm gon' talk my shit, cause I love it, man. My shit all over the place, shit like it's cluttering. Must I say it again?